Please take your seats. The show is about to begin. Please take your seats. The show is about to begin. Please take your seats. The show is about to begin. Please take your seats. The show is about to begin. Please take your seats. The show is about to begin. Please take your seats. The show is about to begin. Welcome to the 2023 James Beard Awards. Presented by Capital One, in association with the Chicago Department of Aviation and Bento Box. Our premier sponsors are Aquapana Natural Spring Water, American Airlines, Guinness, Hilton, HMS Host, and San Pellegrino Sparkling Mineral Water. Our supporting sponsors are Hexclad Cookware, Moet and Shandong, and Schooner Bay Salmon. Our reception sponsors are Don Julio Tequila, Ecolab, Kendall College at National Louis University, and Windstar Cruises. Additional support is provided by Chateau d'Esclans, Christo, Here Market, Kalamazoo Gourmet, Talk, and Verterra Dinnerware, with official broadcast partner Intersport, and our proud hosts Choose Chicago and the Illinois Restaurant Association. Good evening. It's time for the James Beard Foundation's 2023 Media Awards. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of the James Beard Foundation, Claire Reichenbach.
Good evening and a very warm welcome indeed to this year's James Beard Awards. This is the start of 3 days of celebration as we recognise the leaders across the restaurant and food industry. Before we kick off, I just want to acknowledge that there's a bit of noise around this year's awards as we bring our mission and values more centre stage. We're really motivated to use the power of these awards as a force for good in our industry, and our focus is on elevating those who are pushing the industry forward. We're about raising people up, not calling them out. And tonight we celebrate the incredibly talented authors, producers, podcasters, radio hosts, reporters, photographers, and more at the 2023 Media Awards. Tonight is all about you and your incredible accomplishments. As professionals in your fields, the potency of the word, the voice, and the image are well understood by you. And when you turn that power on the most universal human need and pleasure, food, the results are often quite profound. It's a subject we cannot tire of, and a lens through which we learn so much about ourselves, society, our challenges and progress alike. At the James Beard Foundation, we see your work as integral to our mission, the creation of a just and sustainable food system in which all can flourish, and the celebration of excellence in every part of the American culinary landscape, what we call good food for good. I just want to take a moment and thank some of the many people committed to our work in these awards. Our Board of Trustees and our fabulous new Board Chair, Nancy Lukic. All volunteer committees and judges across the country who devote countless hours to this work. Please give them a round of applause. The work they do is phenomenal, phenomenal. Of course, the remarkable James Beard Foundation staff, my team, and our community of donors, individuals, and of course our corporate partners, especially our presenting sponsors, Capital One, and our proud hosts here, Choose Chicago and Illinois Restaurant Association. Thank you for your generous support and continued partnership as ever. We value you so much. Tonight's awards will recognize what our judges regard as the very best in American food media this year. Every nominee plays a role in building the culture to which we all belong, and you all deserve sincere praise and respect. I applaud you all. And our host for this evening is an author, television producer, activist, and journalist whose current show explores the rich and frequently misunderstood culture of the borderland, where her native country, Mexico, meets her adopted home, the United States. She's also a James Beard Broadcast Media Award winner herself, a dear friend of the foundation, and an all-round glorious human being. Please welcome the amazing Pati Jinich.
Thank you, Claire. Hola, everybody. It's so good to be here with so many friends and colleagues. And my three boys, Alan, Sammy, Juju, where are you? Yay. Well, it is a treat to be here with everybody, even if I have to wear this boot, which you may all have seen. My dress has been hiding it. It doesn't exactly go with my outfit. I've been eating 10 lettuces to fit in it for the past 10 days. But at least it gives me the opportunity to tell you the story of how this food fracture happened, which was actually while covering a story. I was filming our PBS series, Patty's Mexican Table, deep in the jungles of the Yucatan, to follow the story of a Mayan legend that says that at the end of the world, when there will be no drinking water left, at the bottom of this dark and slippery cliff in a cenote, or water cave, there will be an old woman who will give you a sip of water that will forever satiate your thirst in exchange for a newborn baby. I know it sounds totally fantastical, but yeah, my three boys are already grown up, couldn't give them up. And I know it sounds totally fantastical, but the entire town of Mani believes this legend, which is carved in trees, portrayed in murals, sung in songs, and lives deep in the hearts of the people there. I've been to the Yucatan so many times, but here was this specific place I had never been to, and a story that was totally new to me, but that has such a significant influence on this community that is also one of the last places on earth to harvest the precious honey from stingless Melipona Mayan bees. This honey is used for these healing rituals that they used on my fractured foot, which is still in a boot. But it was mind-blowing nonetheless. These moments of wonder are what fuel my curiosity and what keep me coming back for more, day after day, even after years of doing this work and despite the injuries that come along with it. And this curiosity and passion for learning is really what brings us all here today. We all want to inspire, we want to provoke, we want to entertain, to challenge preconceived notions and enrich the conversation. We want to uncover something unseen and share something new. How we go about it is always a matter of individual style and technique, but we all take risks along the way to succeed. For my new PBS primetime docu-series, La Frontera, I took a bolder risk in trying to cover arguably one of the most contentious areas in the country, the US-Mexico border. While food is a big part of the cultural story in that region, food is inextricably tied to issues like immigration, environmental concerns, and of course politics, and mostly our hearts. If you live in either the US or Mexico, it's hard not to have preconceived notions of how these topics play out in this region of the world. But I wanted La Frontera to be a transparent microphone. I wanted it to be about learning directly from the people there how much we don't know about the borderlands, instead of confirming what we think we know. The experience was transformative and left me filled with awe, a little bit broken, a little bit torn, but mostly filled with awe, and left me feeling a bigger responsibility to do more and strive to do it better. Because like all of you, I want to make content that will make us open our minds, surprise us, inspire us, and ultimately that will be able to stand by decades from now. Today, we're recognizing content that has fed our curiosity and work that we think will stand the test of time. So let's begin with books. I love books that become heirlooms, books that you know you will want to pass on to the next generation. To all the authors of the books we're about to pronounce, I'll bring you my copy for your autograph once we're done. Okay, so starting as we should with a touch of sweetness, the nominees for the 2023 James Beard Award for books on baking and desserts are
New European Baking, Laurel Kratachvili. Hawa, Irina Georgescu. What's for Dessert? Claire Sappitz.
You guys, I can't believe I get to do the envelope thingy. This is crazy. I'm not supposed to be saying these, but this is giving me so many chills. Oh, you heard that. And the winner is Tava by Irina Georgescu. She's not here. She's not here tonight. So we will move on to the next category of books in the beverage with recipes. And here are the nominees.
The Bartender's Manifesto, Toby Maloney and Emma Johnson. Cure, Neil Bodenheimer and Emily Tinderland. Wild Brews, Jaga Wise.
You guys, this is just never gonna get old. I don't know if I like these more than the crunch of a taco. My husband says, give Patty the microphone, and she goes, wild sorry. And the winner is The Bartender's Manifesto. How to think, drink, and create cocktails like a pro. Toby Maloney and Emma Johnson, come on down.
Hi, all. I'm going to go as fast as possible so we can get drinking as quickly as possible. First off, I would like to thank Emma, the Butcher Jansen. Emma, the Butcher Jansen, is the murderer of darlings. She cut this book down from 180,000 words to 60K. A Herculean accomplishment. Thank you for your structure. To Jen, Bianca, Raquel, Mia, everyone at Clarkson Potter, your expertise made what this book is today. You're awesome. Thank you to Kim and Jessica from Inkwell. Tom, I don't know if Terry or Donnie are here, but thank you, one off. And then Jessica, thank you for saying yes to all my harebrained schemes. And then lastly, this book is an amalgamation of every bartender who's ever worked at the Violet Hour, and you brought your skills and made it a wonderful, in-depth book. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, I'll also keep it quick. One of the first things Toby taught me about running a bar program, and specifically a James Beard Award-winning bar program, which the Violet Hour is that pretty much all you gotta do is pay attention to every little tiny fucking thing. No big deal. And now I can attest to the fact that writing a book is also pretty similar to that. So huge thanks to our editor, Jen, and the rest of the Clarkson Potter team for helping us, their extreme patience, and helping us get this huge thing down into something palatable. Toby, it has been an absolute delight working with you. Thank you so much for bringing me along on this journey. Toby changes lives at the bar, any bar that he works at. His leadership, his empathy, his excitement, and his talent is absolutely infectious, and I can say without a doubt that it's changed my life. So, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Okay, now I have permission to use the F word when I open the envelope. This is getting so much fun. I need a bottle of tequila. For books in the, congratulations guys. For books in the category of beverage without recipes, the nominees are
Drinking with the Valkyries, Andrew Jefford. Exploring the world of Japanese craft sake, Nancy Matsumoto and Michael Tremblay. To fall in love, drink this, Alice Fiery.
And the winner is Exploring the World of Japanese Craft Sake, Rice, Water, Earth by Nancy Matsumoto and Michael Tremblay.
Oh my God, Michael, I think we should have planned something. We did not prepare anything at all, did we? We didn't expect this to happen, so I'm kind of shocked. First, I want to thank the James Beard Foundation. Totally unexpected and so humbling and well appreciated by us. I'd like to thank our publisher, Tuttle, for wonderfully believing in this book, and to our amazing agent, Max Sinsheimer, who's getting married in France right now. But a huge shout out to you, Max. And of course to my co-writer, Michael Tremblay, who is the geekiest sake person you'll ever meet in a really good way. He was a wonderful traveling companion throughout this whole adventure. And we were a great team. I also want to thank my husband, Grant Fingo, who's in the audience. I'd really like to dedicate this to all of the sake brewers out there who are so passionately pursuing their craft, especially those in Japan, but to the growing numbers of sake brewers around the world. Hundreds and hundreds of sake breweries have closed in the past 4 decades. But ironically, the quality of sake has never been better. And Michael and I always say, you could not pick a better time to get into sake because of the innovation, the passion that's being poured in, and the incredible things that are happening. So please read our book and drink sake. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Well, first I'll say ditto 200 million times to what Nancy just said. Thank you to the James Beard Foundation. Thank you to my wife, Dr. Kristen Connor. Thank you to Tuttle, everyone at Tuttle, and the best agent we could have, Max. We started this book by traveling. We had organized 3 trips to Japan before we even had an agent, before we even had a publishing deal, right before the pandemic. Our last trip was right before everything closed down. And then we were writing this kind of in the solitude that we were all experiencing during the pandemic. And it was very therapeutic to be exploring and revisiting all these amazing stories, all these amazing people that we wrote about in our book. I'm very excited for the sake world. There's so many people that are not really on the face of a sake bottle or a sake brewery that are doing amazing things, and I'm just really happy that they get a little bit more exposure moving forward. So thank you very much. I'll introduce you to one word, my favorite word in Japanese, kanpai. Thank you.
Have you guys tried sake with tacos? I highly recommend. The next category is new, reflecting the recent abundance of authors writing about the pleasures and possibilities of bread for home cooks and families. And I love the word abundance. The nominees for books on bread are
Bread Song, Kitty Tate and Al Tate. The Miller's Daughter, Emma Zimmerman. The Perfect Loaf, Mauricio Villa.
And the winner is, and you know if you're the winner, you can get the envelope and bring it home. The Perfect Loaf, the craft and science of sourdough, bread, sweets, and more.
Well, first, I want to just start to say that I'm honored to be up here. There's so many incredible food individuals here, and especially my peers in my category, Emma and Kitty and Al. And then I want to thank Jen Sitt for your editing work on my book. It really wouldn't be here without your help, and I think it'd probably be 1,000 pages or more if it wasn't for your edits. And then I want to thank my photographer, Aubrey Pick. She took some incredible imagery of everything that I baked, and I think it's especially challenging for shooting bread because really after day 7, everything just kind of looks brown. So her work was incredible. And everybody at Clarkson Potter, I just appreciate everything reaching out. The design team, I think they took a lot of my extremely scientific and oftentimes too technical writing and diagrams and kind of made them engaging and approachable. And then I have to thank my parents and my 2 young boys and my wife. I think they had a lot of patience, especially during the pandemic while I wrote the book and trying yet another slice of sourdough bread. And then, at the end of the day, I really just consider myself a bread baker, and I think there's just a long line of bakers that have come before me, and I've taken and used a lot of their teaching to really write my book, and it's just been it's just an honor to be up here. And those bakers, I think, are the ones baking for their community, and it's important to acknowledge that. So lastly, thanks to the James Beard Foundation. I'm really just honored to be up here, and thank you all very much.
Okay, this is the last one for me for now, but very dear to my heart. It's a category that recognizes a small but important and growing body of work about the intersections of food with the biggest ecological, social, and political questions of our time. For books on food issues and advocacy, the nominees are
Eating While Black, Psyche A. Williams-Forson. Gastronativism, Fabio Paraseco. Retail Inequality, Kenneth H. Cole.
And the winner is Eating While Black, Food Shaming and Race in America. Side A. Williams.
Wow, thank you. So many people to thank. Thank you to the committee. Thank you to UNC Press, particularly my editor, Elaine Maisner, who for the second time took a chance on a book that was super hard to write. Thank you to my family, of course, my department at the University of Maryland, College Park. Mostly also thank you to my partner, John Simpson, and to my daughter, who, similar to our previous winner, shut it all down during the pandemic and said, Mom, we have to get this done. And if you know that was hard for her. So I'm thankful that she's here today. Thank you. And lastly, thank you, of course, to God, without whom I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the fortitude at all or the presence of mind to eat in Black joy. You do the same. Thank you.
All right. It is my pleasure now to bring up a veteran of these book awards. His cookbooks, Everyone's Table, Global Recipes for Modern Health, won a James Beard Award last year. And his Portland restaurant, Cannes, is nominated for the Best New Restaurant Award on Monday night. Please welcome chef, author, TV personality, and activist, Gregory Gourdet.
Thank you, Patty. How's everyone doing tonight? Amazing so far. Congrats to everyone who's won so far. Amazing, amazing. Thank you all again. So it's been a huge source of pride for me to return to the stage and bestow this honor after being so fortunate to receive it last year. It was a very emotional moment for me. I was crying, all the feels. I feel way more relaxed this year. I know what a challenge it is to keep your head on task as everything in life calls you to all these demands, and you're trying to write your book, and everything keeps calling, and you're also trying to open a restaurant at the same time. So I have nothing but respect for the fellow nominees we are celebrating here this evening. Winners in this category distinguished themselves by their appeal to a broad array of readers, combined with a compelling subject and point of view. Trust me, there is no shortage of deserving candidates. The nominees for the 2023 James Beard Award for books in the general category are:
The Cook You Want to Be, Andy Baragani. I Dream of Dinner, So You Don't Have to, Ali Slagle. Sunday Best, Adrian Cheatham with Sarah Zorn.
Ooh, this is a tough one. All righty. And the winner is The Cook You Want to Be, Everyday Recipes to Impress, Andy Baragani. You there?
I didn't write anything because I didn't think I would win. And I told my partner, him and my big Persian family are watching right now. He said, at least scribble the names. I'm going to scribble the names before I forget. But obviously, I just want to thank the James Beard Foundation. Thank you for awarding a book where the first line starts to this. Thank you for honoring a book that starts with the line, "This little gay Persian boy." I dreamed for many things in my life, but I never allowed myself to dream this. To my fellow nominees, Adrian, Sarah, Ali, I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for putting out such thoughtful works that will continue to inspire me. I did write a few things. Thank you to the entire 10-Speed family. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for hearing all my ideas, the good ones, the bad ones, and just nodding along and just putting this book out there. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I usually am not nervous. To my agent, Kitty Coles, I love you so much, and in my head, I like to think that I'm the only author you want to have martinis and wine with, but I know that's not true. I swear I'll start on my second proposal. I have started, I just haven't finished it yet. To my editor, Lorena Jones, you went beyond any editor could do. Thank you for embracing this book and seeing it through, but most importantly, seeing who I was fully and letting me be vulnerable. You were a gift in this whole process. To the creative team, Michael Graydon and Nicole Harriet, my photographers, Sue Lee, Ryan Crouchman, Rebecca Bartoszewski, you guys made this book with the photo shoots. I couldn't have done it without you. To Alex Beggs, who took my scrambled words and helped me. I love her so much. Thank you. I hope you're watching. To the many cooks and writers, the ones here, the ones I know, that I've worked with, and the ones that I love and admire from afar. Thank you for sharing your stories, your food. It has inspired me and will continue to inspire me. To my partner, Keith Pollack, I'm so glad you were the foundation of my life. I love you with all my heart, and I can't wait to marry you. We're engaged, so it's, you know. To my crazy, big, giant Persian family, I love you all so much, and I know it's such a rarity seeing you all in the sense that the love that we have for one another is so unique, and I'm just so grateful, and while I was aware of that my whole life, it's just, it means the world to me. And finally, to my mom, dad, and sister, thank you for giving me love of a tremendous magnitude, and for teaching me how to love, and for your openness. You three mean the world to me, and I am nothing without you. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amazing. Books in the next category weave together stories, recipes, lessons, and lore from the lands beyond the U.S. The nominees for books with an international perspective are
Masala, Anita Jasingani. Mezcla, Ishta Belfridge. Nicosina, Rick Martinez.
Alrighty. And the winner is Micocina, Recipes and Rapture from My Kitchen in Mexico, a cookbook. Rick is not present this evening, but we will congratulate him. All right. The next category covers a range of nonfiction books written in a narrative style, from memoirs and historical journeys to critical analysis of food and foodways, biographies, culinary travelogues to personal essays. I love getting lost in such books. For books with particularly literary writing, here are the 2023 nominees.
California Soul, Keith Corbin with Kevin Alexander. Savor, Fatima Ali with Taraja Moran. To Boldly Grow, Tamara Hassan.
All right. And the winner is Savor, A Chef's Hunger for More, Fatima Ali, Terry Morel.
What an honor it is to be here. When Fatma's essay got nominated a few years ago, I remember attending the ceremony in New York. And I mean, it was just overwhelming to be there with all these heroes, that food heroes that Fatma had and that we both were such huge fans of. I remember Sophia, who's here tonight, she presented Fatma's award. And there was David Chang, there was Samin Nusrat, there were people talking about Bourdain and Jonathan Gold, and I just felt like Fatma really belonged, and tonight's no different. So it's a real honor. Thank you to the foundation for recognizing Fatma yet again. You know, when Fatma started writing this book, her world was really closing in, and she wanted one last chance to travel, to go to the restaurants that she dreamed of, to see beautiful places, but her illness just took over her body and seemingly her control. And, you know, like my sister did in so many times in her life, she just put her foot on the gas and she didn't give in. And in that, and what she's achieved now is she's defied the one thing that I thought was impossible to defy, which was a death. And it just taught me so much, and there's so much in this book for anybody who picks it up. Fatma will outlive me, she'll outlive most of us in this room. Whoever chooses to pick up this book, she gets to speak to them, you get to speak to her, you get to converse with her. And she's ready to give you so many gifts. So I encourage everybody really to pick up the book and have a read, because I think it gives you a new perspective on what life is, I think. I feel like it's bizarre, you know, a lot of the things that Fatma wanted to achieve in her life. I remember this one time, it was a long time ago, and it was just the two of us, and she was explaining to me what the James Beard Awards were. And she sort of, you know, her eyes were widening up as she was explaining and telling me what it means to people who earn them. And there was a silence between us for a second. And she turned to me and she said, you know, I'm going to get one. And I just smiled, you know, in this sort of way. I was thinking, yeah, sure, right, Fatma. Look where we are now. So this is Fatma's second. And so thank you to Fati. Thank you to everybody here. Thank you to all of our supporters. And I want to just say a few thanks to a few people who helped us along the way. A big thank you to Jay Mandel, our agent, Pamela Cannon, who helped us in the beginning with Ballantines, Emily Hartley, Emma Bryan, Abdi from the team from Ballantines, and of course to Raja, our collaborator, who dropped into an impossible situation and really stuck around and helped us get to the finish line and give shape to this book. Our mother Farize, who poured herself into this project and stayed true to her promise to Fati. And of course, a couple of people here, my wonderful wife Rimal, who's an excellent writer as well, and my brother Amin. Thank you again to everybody, and congratulations to all of the nominees. Thanks.
Amazing. And finally, my kitchen is full of these. When you need trusted source and want to understand the backstory behind a particular ingredient, recipe, tradition, cultural practice, or influential person. For that matter, books in this category are your go-to. For reference, history, and scholarship, the nominees are
A Place at the Nayarit, Natalia Molina. Slaves for Peanuts, Jory Lewis. What a Mushroom Lives For, Michael J. Hathaway.
Okay. And the winner is Slaves for Peanuts, a story of conquest, liberation, and the crop that changed history, Jory Lewis. All right. Jory is not present with us this evening, but we will congratulate them from here. And now to take over for me, a fellow Pacific Northwestian transplant and child of the African diaspora turned author and chef, whose book, In Bibi's Kitchen, took home the award last year for International. Please welcome Hawa Hassan.
Thank you, Gregory, and welcome, everyone. When my book won, I was pretty pleased to say the least. But nobody told me about all the perks. Coming back here, hanging with you, eating so much delicious food. So let's spread the love. Many cookbooks come out each year for cooks of all persuasions and levels. The books in this category, featuring recipes from the minds of culinary professionals or restaurant chefs, are meant especially for those that are ready to take on steeper challenges in their home kitchens. The nominees for restaurant and professional are
Bloodsoe's Barbecue Cookbook, Kevin Bloodsoe with Noah Galiki. Please Wait to Be Tasted, Carla Perez Gallardo, Hannah Black, and Pina with Michelle Hidegio-Cello. Turkey and the Wolf, Mason Hereford and JJ Good.
All right. And the winner is, if I can just open it, Bloodsoe's Barbecue Cookbook.
Kev's making me go first for some reason. First of all, I want to thank the Beard Foundation for recognizing a book with this many swear words in it. I didn't know that would work. Also, really quickly, want to just thank Allison Fargis, our agent, Dervila Kelly, Emma Campion at 10 Speed, Smitty, Demetria Smith, our photographer, Eric Wolfinger, and then, of course, Kevin Bloodsoe, my big brother, my friend for 10 years now, who we wrote this book, the peak of it, together at his house during the pandemic, and it was an incredible experience. I've known Kevin for 10 years, and getting to spend this time together doing a book, you get to know somebody a different way, a different level, and it was just an incredible experience. Taught me about food, taught me how to be a better person. I didn't listen, but, you know, he helped me on a lot of stuff, and Kevin, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. You know, all this proves is, no matter where you're from, if you put your heart into it, there's no hidden recipe. If you work hard, you can get here. This is a kid from Compton, born and raised in the CPT. From the Steve Harvey Award winner to a James Beard Award. Unbelievable. I'd like to thank my family, even my ex-wife just texted me. Hold on. Oh, she said, miss you, wish you was here. That's so nice. She always do that when she's in front of the cemetery. Anyway, so I want to thank my kids, Arius, Dallas, and Iman. I want to thank my mom and my dad, my friend LaShawn, my 10 Speed, Allison, everybody who helped this eater. Thank you for being there from day one. Everybody from Compton, Corsicana, Texas, everybody. And thank you guys. We are so blessed to be here. And God, wow, I left God out. That's horrible. Everybody, we had a good time with Noah writing this book. And believe it or not, I didn't even want to write a book. Noah made me write a book. So please thank him again. And all he did was come to the house, get me full of Hennessy, and get all the stories out of me. Thank you. Thank you, James Beard. Thank all you guys.
For books with a laser focus and a lot to say on a single subject, here are the nominees.
Masa, Jorge Gaviria. The Miracle of Sex, Naomi Dugan. The Walk, J. Kenji Lopez Off.
And the winner is The good news is I think I'm getting better at opening the envelopes. The wok.
Thank you. I'm going to keep this real short. Thank you. You know, it's incredible. You know, Naomi's books I've had since I was, you know, I heard Mangoes and Curry Leaves. My chef gave that to me when I was a line cook. Hot, Sour, Salty, Sweet. That was one of the very first books I ever bought with my own money, like from one of my first paychecks. And so, I mean, I think Naomi should have won. She was amazing. And as far as like influence on my career, and then in the last like 6 months, I've been using the Hacienda masa, which is amazing, and I use it at home all the time. And so, yeah, what both Naomi, what they've done is amazing. I was not expecting to win today, so thank you for having me here. Thank you to my wife and my daughter and my son for supporting me as I was writing this book. Especially thank you to my parents. I come from a kind of strange family. My mom is a Japanese immigrant, first generation. My dad is a white guy from Pennsylvania. You know, when I was writing my first book, I was thinking to myself, I didn't grow up cooking. I did not like cook with my mom. I did not cook with either of my parents, but I did grow up eating at home. And you know, one of the things was that my mom is I think is a Japanese immigrant to the U.S. She tried to help us assimilate a lot to U.S. culture, and so a lot of, you know, there was some Japanese cooking at home, but there was also a lot of non-Japanese cooking at home, and then there was also a lot of mixed cooking at home. You know, so when I was writing my first book, I thought to myself, I didn't really have much of a personal food culture because I didn't grow up learning how to cook. And so that's where that first book came from. And then as I started writing this second book, I realized, like, oh, well, this tool that my mom always cooks with, whether she was making spaghetti bolognese or whether she was making mapo tofu, you know, that is actually an essential part of my food culture, this wok that my mom and my grandmother cooked with. And that, you know, growing up in New York, my dad would take us to Chinatowns all over New York and Boston. And so all these foods of my childhood were tied together with this one tool. And so to be able to write a book about this tool and how useful it is, I thought was a lot of fun. I'm sorry, I really was not prepared for this. I was not expecting to win. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to my family, and thank you, everyone here. Thank you to the foundation. Thanks.
For books that explore the merit, microcultures, and traditions that make up U.S. foodways, the nominees are
Gullah-Geechee Home Cooking, Emily Nugget with Kayla Stewart and Talani Michelle. I Am From Here, Vishwesh Bhatt, The Walks of Life, Bill Lund, Caitlin Lund, Judy Lund, and Sarah Lund.
And the winner is I'm From Here, Stories and Recipes from a Southern Chef. I take it as a good sign that the number of books in the next category keeps increasing year by year as consciousness grows around what we eat and how it affects the health of our bodies and the planet. For vegetable-focused cooking, the nominees are
Plant-Based India, Dr. Shil Shukla. In Praise of Veg, Alice Gaslavsky. The Vegan Chinese Kitchen, Hannah Chen.
Okay, now I'm doing way too much. And the winner is the Vegan Chinese Kitchen, Recipes and Modern Stories from a 1,000-year-old tradition.
Wow. First, I just want to thank my fellow nominees, Sheil and Alice. I am so privileged to be in this category with you, and I think you both have such beautiful, important books, and really I'm just so honored. And I want to thank Clarkson Potter and my agent, Charlie Brotherstone, the whole team at Clarkson Potter, Jen, my designer, everyone who's helped make this book what it is. And especially I want to thank Francis Lam, who you all know is a legend, but he's also just truly one of the kindest and wisest people on earth. And just I want to thank you so much for, I don't know where you are, I'm trying to find you in the crowd, but thank you so much for trusting me with this book, an unknown pianist and food blogger who had this idea and this vision that you truly believed in. And just thank you so much for everything you've done really to help shape this book into what it has been, and especially just for championing the stories that are in this cookbook. This book could not have happened, and it would not be what it is without the people that have helped me in my research and my learning in China and in Taiwan. I want to specifically thank Namu Cuo and Wen Lao Shi, my teacher and mentor of the Guangzhou Vegetarian School, for just showing me the beauty and the philosophy and the history and just the tradition behind this cuisine. It's been such an important journey for me just in learning about my own Chinese heritage, and I cannot thank them enough for what they've shown me and taught me. I want to thank my parents, In Hong, Cheng Gang, David and Sarah, who immigrated to this country over 30 years ago now, and over the years have raised their eyebrows at everything I've done, and have never doubted me and have supported me unconditionally in all of it. And thank you so much, James Beard Foundation. This is truly such an honor.
And finally, the category for books that spark your interest and start your mouth watering before you read a single word. The nominees for fantastic visuals are
Chinese-ish, Joanna Hu and Armel Abi. Homage, Brittany Connolly. The Sofrito Manifesto, Fernando Medina, Rafael Montalvo, and Angelo Islands.
And the winner is Chinese-ish. Home cooking, not quite authentic, 100% delicious. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to hand the mic over to the chair of the Book Awards, Erica Skolnick, to finish out this section of programming. Good night.
Hello, thank you, Hawa. And thank you, everyone, for joining us to celebrate this incredible slate of nominees and our 2023 Book Award winners. As chair of the book committee, I am immensely proud of all of them and grateful to our judges for the long hours they put in on every single book. If what you're imagining is a glorified book club, maybe with wine and cheese on a Zoom, well, that's not it. Judges read and reread all the printed books, ebooks, book-length submissions before making their rankings, which is a slow and deliberative process. In the past couple of years, the Foundation has opened up submissions to accommodate writers who may not have had the resources to self-publish or don't have a publicity team behind them. The volume and range of work we are seeing is growing and changing in tandem with that shift. Honestly, shifts are happening across all award committees, media award committees. Committee chairs increasingly find a multimedia trend rippling through their formats. Poking and prodding our categories also helps us put in contact with food media makers who are doing great work, but not yet getting wide recognition. The Emerging Voice Book Award celebrates up-and-coming authors whose point of views speak to the future of our industry, our food system, or our world. The winner is selected for the freshness and fearlessness of their perspective and the equality of their work. Equality. Please join me in celebrating this year's winner. Oh my gosh. My turn. This is so great. Best award of the night. Ileana Mesonet, author of Diet Rican, a Puerto Rican cookbook.
Shit, okay. Let me go ahead and read the speech I wrote. That way I don't end up cussing everybody out. Thanks to the James Beard Foundation. I don't know who got drunk the night you guys were choosing, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. First of all, I want to thank me. I'm just kidding. I really want to thank my editor, Lorena Jones. I appreciate her taking a chance on a wild child, that didn't have an agent at the time. I was just out there navigating the waters and doing it on my own. And, I'm glad that she not only became, my editor, but also a mentor, and she really made me feel, she made sure that I felt seen and I felt heard, and I didn't have to compromise my voice or anglicize any Spanish words, because I wasn't about to do that, and she said that was fine. And I want to thank my brother-in-law, Dan Liberti, who shot the book, and Jillian Knox, who was the stylist, the food stylist and the prop stylist on my book. I want to thank Paolo Lucchesi, who really kickstarted my career by giving me a column at the San Francisco Chronicle, another person that took a chance on this wild child and became my mentor and really taught me how to edit words, even though that doesn't always work out on my behalf. I don't always edit the things I'm supposed to edit. I'm sure some of you know that. I probably cussed out half the people here, so sorry about that. Obviously, I want to thank my mom, too. Our relationship hasn't always been great, and I'm sure she was worried about her baby for a long time, while I kind of wandered around as a lost soul. But hopefully she can see that it was all for something. And, to all the gatekeepers who upheld the industry standard and did their bidding for systemic racism by telling me and others like me there was no market for my book or room in the industry for me, or they couldn't represent me or publicly be affiliated with me. Thank you.
It's amazing. All right, I have one more. At the other end of the spectrum, we have our Cookbook Hall of Fame Award, which recognizes a book and an author with staying power and enduring impact on the way we cook and sustained contributions to American cuisine. And this year's winner is, I can see it. This is a huge honor to present this to Chef Joe Randall.
you so very much. I want to first thank my wife, Barbara, who's not here today. But for 45 years, she's been patient and supportive. And blessed me with 3 wonderful children. My daughter's with me, Carrie. But I just want to let you know that this book didn't come about by me, by myself. Where you at, Tony? Tony was at the Cleveland Plain Dealer 20-some years ago, and we got together and decided we wanted to try and create a book that showed the contribution that African Americans had made to food in this country. Some understanding of Southern food and soul food, and an understanding of the real contribution that blacks had made in the industry. I was fortunate enough to work for a chef named Robert W. Lee, who was from Atlanta, but I met him in the 60s at the Harrisburg Hotel in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And during that time, if you weren't serious about cooking, Chef wouldn't even entertain a conversation with you. Chef Lee ran that hotel for 40 years with an entire African-American crew. And so I knew it could be done anywhere in the country. And I traveled in my culinary journey from Seattle to California. And I've been in Savannah for the last 25 years. And we've got some wonderful friends here from Savannah. And they all know my passion about food. I ran a cooking school there for 20 years. But I want to thank the Beard Foundation, all the committee members, and the judges for this great honor, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Hola. Hey.
Hey. Hi.
I brought a friend with me.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
It is the man who the New York Times called the, quote, sweetly square host of NPR's Wait, Don't Tell Me, produced here in Chicago. For the past 25 years, Peter Sagal, and I love the show so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to be here, everybody. I just love always being a part of the Beard Awards.
We are moving on to announce this year's Broadcast Media Awards. These means all food-related media that goes out to a mass audience on TV and radio and streaming on the web and your phone and your watch and the inner surface of your glasses and very soon in your dreams.
We've come so far. When I was a young man, a culinary broadcast was pretty much just this. My mother going, "Dinner!" That's not true. It was a desert, but we had something called the Galloping Gourmet. Anybody remember? The Galloping Gourmet? The Galloping Gourmet. This was a TV show, and I used to watch it on sick days home from school. And all I remember about it now, all these years later, was that this man would cook food, and then he would eat it at the end, and he would make a face of such extraordinary ecstasy. Just, whoa! Like Yo-Yo Ma playing the cello or something else. And all I could remember is sitting there in my sickbed was like, I don't know what would ever inspire anyone to make a face like that, especially food. These days, there are endless varieties of cooking shows and shows about food and food culture and restaurant shows and on. Because, as we Jews know, the only thing as much fun as eating is talking about eating.
And screaming about it because, okay, in my family we do both. We eat, we talk about what we eat, But I have to side with your mom, because if you show up to my house any day and my boys are there, I'll be, Alan, Sammy, Juju. And they always tell me, you always lie, Ma, the food isn't ready.
Well, that's because they always take 20 minutes to come, right?
Exactly. So to save my voice, I'm going to leave these next parts to you, and then you can talk to my voice.
Thank you. By the way, you've done the envelopes. Now you've done scripted badinage. Is that also? You see, you're doing the whole award.
So amazing.
It's great. The whole award show thing. That's great. Thank you so much. We had to expand our first category from simple documentaries to include all the various kinds of visual journalism in the food world. We could call it good content for your eye holes, but for now, for the 2023 award for documentary or docu-series visual media, the nominees are
Cold Water Kitchen.
You are the worst version of who you are. That's why it impacts me so, being in food tech. You have the opportunity here.
James Hemmings, Ghost in America's Kitchen.
Every single one of them has the granddaddy James Hemmings.
James Hemmings was Thomas Jefferson's brother-in-law, but also his enslaved property.
Love Charlie, the rise and fall of Chef Charlie Trotter.
Restaurant was amazing. As good as anywhere you could eat in a 3-star restaurant in France.
Charlie was out there. Way out there. He wasn't going to stand for mediocrity.
Big Sky Kitchen with Eduardo Garcia.
And the winner is, Patty is right, this is very exciting. Cold Water Kitchen.
Thank you so much. Chef Jimmy Lee Hill, who's the heart of this film, and it's kind of crazy that I know none of you have really seen this film, to be standing here. Chef Jimmy is in Portugal right now catching octopi, and he would kill me if I didn't start by thanking God. So thank you to God, thank you to the James Beard Foundation, thank you to all the people standing up here on this stage. Thank you to the Free Press. I'm going to forget a whole lot of people. Thank you to our executive producer, Desiree Vincent-Levy, who we wouldn't be here without her either. The reason that we are standing here, though, is because this gentleman to my right, Ernest Davis, when I was a restaurant critic at the Detroit Free Press, he wrote me a letter from prison while he was serving life without parole sentence, and said, I've been a sous chef in this culinary program for 20 years, and I think what we're doing is pretty special. And I went out and checked it out, and indeed it was special. In that clip, the next scene, it goes into the garden that's right outside where they grow asparagus and amazing beets and strawberries and edible flowers. And it's a film about purpose and how food can bring purpose and change lives. And I mean, the fact that when we met 5 years ago, he was looking at life without parole, and now we're standing here in front of all of you, accepting the award for the James Beard Foundation. Institutional cooking is not sexy, and so, you know, this foundation and many of us in this room have not historically given our fair due to the folks who cook in our schools, who cook in our hospitals for, you know, the sick and infirm, for folks who cook in these large places like prisons, who really are the ones who are impacting our community. And so the fact that the James Beard Foundation recognized this award, or recognized this film with this award, it means that it really is about good food for good. And hopefully this means that we will find a distributor so that you all can see this film really soon. This one's for Detroit. Thank you.
Everybody knows that these days, if you want to learn how to do something, you just go on YouTube and you search how to whatever. We do this even when we think we already know how to do it, because what if we're wrong? So, for example, this is true. Just like last week, I searched how to make hard-boiled eggs. I did that because I knew how to make hard-boiled eggs, but I didn't know if I was making them correctly, right? So I followed the instructions exactly, and it didn't work. The maker of that video is not among the candidates for this year's award for instructional visual media.
Big Sky Kitchen with Eduardo Garcia.
Out there, in the water, in the wind, in the dirt. Looking for morels, it's a perpetual Easter egg hunt. And cooking is not just empowering, it's therapeutic. And beyond all of that, it's fun.
Technically with Lan Lan.
Good. It's juicy, it's tender, it's got great flavor. Pops of salt are wonderful. This is all I want in a steak. You can see why this is my favorite method.
What's eating Dan?
And Anna pulls out a very...
Should we give that another second, or shall we just continue?
Roll. And Anna pulls out a very long rolling pin. She says this rolling pin is 100 centimeters, but she actually considers it small. She routinely uses one that is 130 centimeters.
All right. And the winner is Big Sky Kitchen with Eduardo Garcia.
Thank you, everybody. I have two stories, and I'll keep them short, promise. First one is about a Jewish Latino boy that moves to Montana and ends up getting kicked out of 9 schools. And secretly, and not so secretly, this boy loves education, loves to learn. And the thing is that if you want to teach anybody anything, Google Maps won't teach you how to get there, but I can. And it's from the heart. And to the chefs and to the mentors and to the teachers and to the family and friends that saw 9 schools as an opportunity zone on a young man, I just want to say thank you. And I also want to thank Chef Beard himself for pioneering this space many, many, many years ago. As a chef, as a storyteller, as a media personality, broke the ice for us. Second story I want to tell is about that same little boy who became a chef and at some point decided, with the help of others around me, you should probably share this passion of food with other people. And 5 days before having a genuine sit down with the Food Network, that little boy got electrocuted with 2,400 volts of power and lost his left hand. And so my story then goes to the team next to me, because Ann Fox and Dan Fox, right here, we were working on a show at that time. And although it never made the air, we sure are grateful Big Sky Kitchen did. And I owe a lot to Chip and Joanna Gaines for putting a bird in Ann and Dan's ear and saying, "Have you met Eduardo Garcia? We really would love to work with him." And so while I was walking my dog one morning 3 years ago, Ann called and said, hey, we had kept in touch, and said, hey, do you want to make a show? And here we are today. And so to the entire team that makes Big Sky Kitchen, from our showrunner, Matt Gonzalez, to my culinary producer, Lish Styling, to Dan and Ann, who are the dynamic duo. I'd like to call Isabel Kuhn up, too. If you're out in the audience, come on up. You don't get up here without a team. And so to this team that's made up of directors, Emmy Award-winning producers, editors, and friends and family that encourage you to not silence your inner spark for anybody, this award goes to all those little kids and the youth, and so does this show. It's meant to inspire the inner child in every single adult, so that through any modality you then choose, it goes to the next generation, because if we're not seeding that capital now, I don't know what we're cooking with in the future. Thank you all so much. Give it up for this team.
I just very quickly just want to thank our team at Magnolia Network, Sierra Cowan and Sarah Cuban and Cody Woodside, who couldn't be with us tonight but are here in spirit, and we really miss them and are so grateful for the opportunity that they gave us. So I'd like to thank them and these guys here who are just so amazing. We're so lucky to have a wonderful crew in Miami to work with. So thank you. Thank you for welcoming us tonight. Have a good one.
Yes. What's that, boy? Every plate tells a story, but the nominees in our next category make the whole meal entertaining, including the cleaning up. For reality or competition visual media, the nominees are
Restaurant Takeover featuring Mata.
Dish is a crab and tomato salad, which is a riff off of like a noodle soup that my mom used to make me called boom reel. It's like crab and tomato based broth. And so I figured it's still warm out. Just have a little salad, make it a little light, a little fun.
Top Chef.
Important to Korean culture, creating a dish that is inspired by my mom. It makes me very emotional.
How's it tasting over there, Jay?
Just melting in my mouth.
1 hour, chef.
We put 11 cameras in New York City's busiest brunch restaurant. Bon appetit.
A breakfast rush inside the restaurant on a Tuesday morning in June, which is as insane as any other busy morning. We'll get like pops of 50 people at a time with a line out the door, and you can easily serve 500 guests just for breakfast.
And the winner is Restaurant Takeover featuring Mata.
Oh man, I'll be quick. First, I want to thank the Beard Foundation for this award, and for all those who supported us as this collective in this journey. I've been submitting to the James Beard Award since I was 18. It's been a decade, so I'm really glad I can stand up here in front of you all. When I was younger, I had told myself that winning this award would justify the work that I had been doing, but that idea has been a perception driven by ego. But over the last 10 years, I found the importance of creating with meaning. These failures never deterred me. I knew that determination and hard work, that this day would come. What I didn't know was who I was going to be by my side when I got here. Behind me is a collective of entrepreneurs, small business owners, and chefs whom every day represent their idea of what a community is and can be. Without them, I'm just a kid with a camera. I wouldn't be here without them, so it is important that I take the time to acknowledge who they are. Ian Williams of Dead Star Coffee, Kim Dam of Portland Cafe, Lisa Wynn of Heyday, Richard Lay and Sophia Lay of Mata and Salvi Donuts, Ethan and Jerry Luong of Bao Un Kainan. Understand that you can look like any of us up here and know that your story matters and your voice deserves to be heard. This win doesn't belong to me nor this network. This belongs to the continuous work of every individual who strives day in and day out to create a better version of Portland, Oregon. Thank you.
My God. Oh, my goodness.
That was amazing. They were sitting right there, and when I announced that award, I saw that face for the first time since the Galloping Gourmet. They're doing it again. For visual media short form, here are the nominees.
CBS Sunday Morning.
Simple thought process of it. I was a white guy, a black woman would be my perfect counterpart to running this place.
Before the meeting, I thought, am I going to be a symbol here? Am I going to be a living, breathing political statement? Because I didn't want to.
Eaters, the experts.
They do whatever to survive. So when they get a chance to actually see some entrepreneurs come into the neighborhood, they actually care about the neighborhood, and they're outside sweeping, they're cleaning up, that's dope, because I feel like representation is big. And a lot of us are underrepresented.
Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien.
Only black-owned farm distillery in the country. But for Williams and his wife, Delta Dirt is distinguished by something even more profound.
Donna and I were intentional about wanting our business to be for all people.
And the winner in visual media short form is CBS Sunday Morning.
Well, thank you so very much. Just going to read what I've written here. Thank you to the Beard Foundation, the awards committee, and the voters. Congratulations to our distinguished fellow nominees as well. Martha Teichner, who loves this event as much as I do, is incredibly disappointed to not be here tonight and sends her sincere appreciation and thanks for this humbling honor. What you didn't see on the short clip was there were two stories that were involved in our nomination. The first was with the Gray from Savannah, Georgia. The second was from the Lost Kitchen in Freedom, Maine. Both of those stories being recognized tonight are lessons in struggle and perseverance told through the lens of food. Indeed, food lets us relish in eating all kinds of simple or decadent meals. But just as importantly, food gives us life-changing opportunities and experiences that shape us as people. We're so lucky to have been able to tell their stories. Thank you to the brilliant and fearless Mashama Bailey, John O'Morisano, Becca Parrish, and all of the truly remarkable folks at the Gray in Savannah. Thank you to them for their humility and their generosity in letting us tell their powerful story. Also, we'd like to thank the elegant and extraordinary fighter Erin French and her husband Michael Dutton and the amazing team at the Lost Kitchen in Freedom, Maine. Thank you to them for opening their doors and sharing their story with us and welcoming us with open arms. We share this honor with both restaurants and both extraordinary teams of people.
quickly, from my team, a thank you to Sunday Morning's executive producer, Rand Morrison, and our senior team, Jason Saka, Amy Rosner, Ramon Parkins, and Ed Forgetson. Video editors on these stories, George Pozdrack and Carol Ross. Our camera and sound teams, Mike Hernandez, Derek Davis, Tracy Duncan, and Jack Norflus, and associate producer on The Gray, John Cooper. And finally, I would like to thank all of the incredible journalists at Sunday Morning whose dedication to first-class storytelling hasn't wavered since our first broadcast in January of 1979. Every single week, we go about a commitment to telling a story in a first-rate way, and we know that all of our colleagues out there, all the nominees, and everyone else in journalism, in the food world, is dedicated to doing the same. And so it's a continued commitment to excellence that we strive for, and I think it would be one that no doubt James Beard himself would be proud of. Thank you very much.
I've got one more award to announce, and I want to congratulate all of the nominees and winners, and with the prompter's permission and indulgence, just a small moment of personal privilege. Starting about almost exactly a decade ago, I started going through a whole bunch of transformations in my life, most of which are not relevant at all, except for one. I became a cook. Before that, I was just somebody who ate, but probably because mostly of necessity, I had to learn to cook. And I did it with the help. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of you, the community who produce culinary media, including specifically some people who are in this room, my friend Rick Bayless and Kenji Lopez-Alt, and other people like Sam Sifton and Allison Roman, and lots of others, and video guys who taught me how to cook. And it changed my life in a profound way. So in regard to the other awards that we've been sort of referencing with the opening the envelopes, that's great. They entertain people. You change what people eat, how they eat it, and by virtue of doing it, you're literally changing what people are. And I, for one, am very grateful you did it for me. Thank you. And it is important that you do your job well. Otherwise, you end up like I did 3 days ago, with hard-boiled eggs that aren't. For visual media long form, the nominees are
Mafia Land.
You're growing, these oranges you're growing, what's threatening them? Why is your land at risk?
I prodotti vengono minacciati principalmente dalla mafia rurale. Significa dal pascolo abusivo.
Somebody feed Phil.
Plate for me of your favorite things. I will eat them.
Great.
What do you call that one?
This?
Yeah.
This is, we call Nishka Pogacha.
Sure you do.
The whole animal.
I think is an art. We're going so far beyond the normal supermarket meat, and that involves how you handle it and also knowing the right way to cut it.
And the winner is the whole animal.
Wow, not expected. Wow. I just want to say thank you so much to the foundation. The James Beard Foundation is something that it's hard to put into words how much it guides so much in our industry, and it means so much to stand in front of all of you. This film we started making 6 years ago, 7 I think, right after the first Psalm movie, and It took us to 8 countries. It took us to the brink of absolute bankruptcy and the brink of insanity. So for it to get to this point and to be here, I can't put it into words. I want to thank everybody at SOM TV, the reason we haven't slept in 3 years. I want to thank everybody, Christina Wise, producer of the show, Logan Hall, editor, John Adams, who worked tirelessly on this thing, Jackson Myers, who saw this thing the whole way through as a producer, and Diane Carpenter, thank you for believing in us. The chefs in this film, Kate Hill and Kim Alter and Chef Andrew Zimmern, who I believe is at the Taylor Swift concert if he's not here. Thank you everybody so much for believing in this film. And then most of all, my mom, who had a lot of kids and virtually no means growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, raising all of us, and she figured out a trick, which was to buy meat that was inexpensive and cook it for a long time. And then it became really good. And she was able to feed all of us running around by doing that. And she planted a seed for this movie by doing that when we were little kids. So I want to say thank you to her.
Yeah. This was a long journey, and Jason said it all well. But, the story was really about the triangle of the chef, the butcher, and the farmer. And without those 3 integral trades, it's just the food is not delicious. So everybody, when they take a bite of a delicious piece of meat, just remember to thank all of those that were involved in getting it to the plate. Lastly, of course, I want to thank my family, my mom, my dad from the stars, and my sister, and my wife, of course, and 2 daughters, Simone and Vivian. And I just want to leave you guys with the fact that when you're done here or the next time you need to go shopping, go to your local butcher, please, if you can, if there is one, and have a conversation with them. And I promise they'll guide you in the right direction. Thank you.
Broadcast food media has changed so dramatically since I got started, and not just in terms of the location we visit and the occasional bumps we take along the way. When I first got into broadcast with Pati's Mexican Table, there was so much concern that people wouldn't be able to understand me because of my accent and my very Mexican ways. They even wanted me to take special classes to erase all of it. When I was shooting the first season, there was a man on set who was in charge of letting me know when I wouldn't be understood by Americans. Every time I said a word that he didn't think the wider America would understand, he would raise my red spatula, and we would have to start the shoot all over again. I'm not kidding. He started raising that spatula almost every time I uttered a word. Say feeling, Patty, not feeling. Say naughty, Patty, not naughty. I was so annoyed that I started to get really defiant. I would be like, but the feeling on those tamales is the heart of the dish, so it makes sense. And when I toast the seeds, they start jumping in the pan, so they're naughty. After the first season, he decided to quit. I think they gave up on me. I didn't give up on me. Now, I know I'm not the only one in this room who has been told that something unique about me is a problem to fix, a weakness or a vulnerability to my success. When in actuality, boys, is it actuality or actuality? Actuality. When in actuality, those qualities are what make us stand out and in the long run makes us successful. Our uniqueness, as I say, is our strength, and it's been amazing to see that acknowledged more and more by media. It's also been interesting to see how my own work has continued to evolve. When I started out, I was expected to translate all the time too when we were in Mexico. So we'd be in Mexico with amazing people, sharing their amazing stories, and every few minutes I would be asked to stop them so I could explain in English to camera what they were saying. This would make the people insecure and would break the magic of the encounter. Awkward. Now, 11 years later, I'm not translating for anyone anymore. The audience appetite, I know. We are giving people agency. The audience appetite and openness for true, real, and in-the-moment content, all of you and all of us, in whatever language it may be, has helped the content evolve so genuinely. People would rather read the subtitles in English and be there, in the moment, in the magic. With La Frontera, we went bolder. It is the first ever fully bilingual show with English subtitles when we speak Spanish, but then it has Spanish subtitles when English is spoken. The accessibility, the inclusion, it's incredible. It's the execution of subtitles and closed captioning at the same time was pretty insane, but it is a true reflection of what La Frontera is, binational, bicultural, bilingual. And it turns out that our audience is more than just fine with that. They're diving in the deep waters with us. Spanish speakers feel included and the content is more accessible, and English speakers get the real deal. They truly connect and can learn more. Spanish is now a part of the American culinary lingo. For all of us trying to make media that matters, cutting through the cliches and through others' expectations, means giving the people you're speaking with a chance to reveal themselves on their own terms. To present the remaining Broadcast Media Awards, I'm going to call on a person who understands the importance of unfiltered voices. She's a thoroughly now food media force. Part chef, part food and lifestyle tastemaker, part activist, and part wellness wise woman. She's the Emmy-nominated host of the celebrated streaming show Counterspace, and she won the 2022 James Beard Award for Emerging Voice, Broadcast Media. It is such a pleasure to welcome her now. Please welcome Sophia Rowe.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Patty. She's just the best. Isn't she so funny? I just love her so much. I'm so thrilled to be here. I know there's a prompter, but I'm not going to really read it right now. I wasn't able to be here last year and receive my award in person, so I am just so thrilled to be in this room. I love you. I mean it. I really mean it. I love all of you. It's an incredible feeling to be in a room full of just connected, just beautiful minds all vibing off each other. It's just the best. And I've got so much respect for all the nominees and winners announced so far. So let's read some more. The nominees for commercial media are, oh yeah, these are going to be good.
Jaylee Adams, Lindsay Hagen, and Martha Stuman. California Natural by Martha Stuman Wines.
First started out, I was much more diligent about taking tasting notes and really creating a kind of a memory map to understand how to taste and smell wine.
Hallie Davison, Jorge Gaviria, and Daniel Klein. Macienda presents.
Las personas disfrutando la comida, hablando otros idiomas. ¿Qué están diciendo? ¿Quién sabe? Pero están disfrutando.
20 years ago, when we started working as dishwashers and line cooks, now we have a way to express ourselves.
Hallie Davison, Daniel Klein, and Yasmin Ramirez. Las Chicatanas.
De mis abuelos nos decían que existía ya la chicatana.
Okie dokie. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Golly. Okay. All right. Hallie Davidson, Jorge Guevara, and Daniel Klein. Macienda.
Thank you, James Beard Foundation. Thank you, everyone. What an honor. Oh, my God. Hacienda entered into the commercial media category because Hacienda is a company. But when we made these films, we really had no intention of advertising. We wanted to tell a beautiful story, and that's what we did. In fact, several of the films in this series don't feature our product at all, but Jorge told me about telling stories that don't involve our exact product, that all ships rise with the tide. So thank you for that. I want to thank the chefs and farmers who gave us their time, their vulnerability to share these stories in the film. I want to thank the tiny crew that made these, that hustled, with, it's not big production, small, tiny teams, coming out and working long hours. I want to thank my family, my kids, James and Effie, for letting their dad be away. The life of a filmmaker can be challenging, so I appreciate them so much. And I want to thank, again, just Hacienda for having the courage and to invest in films that have value, that have real value. So thank you. Thank you, team.
Thank you to everybody. It's such an honor. Thank you so much to this extraordinary team, everyone here, so many people who are not here in all over the United States, Mexico. We have an enormous, wonderful, loving team, and the compounding joy that comes with working with them is unbelievable. I just want to take an opportunity, if you will all indulge me for a moment. Is that okay? Say, you can nod, say yes. Cool. All right, Ferris, Chicago. It's Selena Pino's birthday today. She's in such a critical linchpin in our team. So on three, and I'd really ask if you could make it count. So I'm going to take a pause, make it count. On three, please say happy birthday, Selena. It would mean a lot to all of us, okay? Great. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Selena. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so here's a category I can think of at least, 17 or 18 candidates for. The nominees for social media account are
Erwin Youssef. Erwin.
It's a battle for representation and the acceptance of Filipino cuisine and culture internationally. It's about finally giving a voice to a country that exports 10 million workers annually and the millions more who have migrated out.
Andrew Huang, Iwa Huang, and Jeremy Koh. Nom Life.
Growing up as first-generation restaurant kids, we learned firsthand that every kitchen has a story to tell. Food has the unique ability to convey so much history in a single dish. We always aim to highlight communities and culture, whether through food, traditions, or stories. This is our journey from plate to plate.
Kalamata's kitchen staff. Kalamata's kitchen. Of course, it's kid-friendly.
Friendly? You crazy?
The dishes that we're going to talk about, they may be unfamiliar to you, but they are familiar to kids around the world who enjoy them every single day.
Okay. Okay, and the winner is Erwin Youssef.
This is incredible. Thank you, everyone, so much. Thanks to the foundation. Congratulations to the other nominees. I flew all over from the Philippines, so 20-plus hours just for this weekend, so thank you for making it worth it. Thank you to our whole crew over at TFKI Studios and Feature Media, our company. Thank you to my family and my beautiful wife and daughter for allowing me to travel to tough places to create stories. Anywhere you go in the world, you'll meet Filipinos, especially in the food and beverage industry. In fact, one of our largest revenue streams as a country are Filipinos who are working overseas, yet not a lot is known about our culture or our food. Tons of people have said Filipino food is the next big thing, and I'm obsessed with trying to figure out how to make it just the big thing. And so this, for me, means absolutely everything, because it just motivates me further to keep shining a light on our beautiful country, our beautiful people, and the food that is made in our kitchens. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, next up are the nominees for a category I personally could definitely not live without. Engaging my ears while I'm busy in the kitchen is the best way to ensure my hands do very good work. And the nominees for audio programming are
Copper and Heat.
Traditional foods. Until I have my elders tell me not to, right? Basically. They always tell me they're so proud. They're so proud. There's a lot of grandchildren, there's a lot of great-grandchildren. There's hardly anybody still gathering.
Dish City.
Chinese carryouts. We love them. Chicken wings, the mumbo sauce, but
why is it that so many people of different racial groups get to own a majority of businesses in Black neighborhoods?
Good food.
About masa harina without talking about gruma, or as you may have heard journalist and tortilla tournament founder Gustavo Arellano describe the company.
So for me, gruma is the Thanos of the tortilla world, literally snaps its fingers and just destroys independent tortillerias.
Okay. And the winner is Copper and Heat. Abalone, the cost of consumption.
Okay. Did not write anything. Well, first of all, we just feel so honored and privileged to be in this room full of people who do incredible work. So thank you all for the work that you do. Also, our fellow nominees, Dish City and Good Food. Incredible shows. We love you so much. So honored to be in a category with you. We are a tiny independent team. There's just 3 of us. So first of all, thank you to my partner in life and the show, Ricardo. He does all the sound design and music. Wouldn't sound the same without him. A huge, huge thank you to my co-producer, Rachel, who couldn't be here tonight because she's in Mexico at a wedding. And it would not be the same show without her. And lastly, thank you to all the people who have shared their voices for this show, specifically Hillary Rennick, who you heard in that little clip. She's a Pomo and Paiute woman in Northern California, and she trusted us with her story, which I appreciate immensely. So yeah, thank you to all of you. Thank you to the foundation.
All right, so I work deeply in the world of images. The visual world is a language that's pretty natural to me. But there are times when the best and most informative storytelling comes in a format you don't see at all, but hear it instead. For audio reporting, the nominees are
Jane Black and Elizabeth Dunn, Pressure Cooker.
The tale involving desperate farmers, skittish military generals, short-sighted bean counters, pizza lobbyists, and a network of underground caves filled with cheese.
Tyler Boudreau.
Became famous as a stop on the Underground Railroad.
We're strong-minded in terms of their belief that God expected them to do something about this terrible treatment of human beings. And we're only 20 miles from Missouri, so the Missouri Compromise in 1820 had said that Maine is a free state and Missouri is a slave state.
Lisa Morehouse, California Foodways.
Can I ask about changes he's seen in Ojai's weather?
Back in the
late 60s, early 70s, every year there would be snow in these mountains, and there would be snow for weeks on end. Now, if it snows, it lasts maybe till noon, if that.
Okay. And the winner is Jane Black and Elizabeth Dunn, Pressure Cooker, The Twisted History of School Lunch in America.
So, 2 years ago, Jane and I, who are both mothers, had the radical idea to come up with the idea for a podcast that would treat the pressures facing parents trying to feed their kids every day as a serious matter worthy of good journalism. And that podcast has become Pressure Cooker, and we are just thrilled to see it recognized tonight.
Thrilled, very excited. We would also like to say this is our very first foray into audio after many years doing reporting and writing, so that's especially exciting. We would like to say thank you to all the people at Jose Andres Media who took a chance on us as newbie podcasters. Jose Andres, Richard Wolf, Gabby Lozano, and our amazing producer, Andy Cubas, who is not here tonight. And our kids.
Well, and a big thank you to the James Beard Foundation. This is such an honor. I'd like to thank my husband, Andrew, and also my sons, James, Teddy, and Rory, who provide pretty much endless fodder for a podcast about the troubles with feeding kids, and who also told me that they would rate the podcast 4 out of 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. So.
And my daughter, Lucy, we would not have known this was a topic that needed delving into without her. We're having our 1-year anniversary come up, and we asked her what she learned, and she said, "Your episodes are really long." So anyway, we're working to do better. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now to read the final broadcast award, please welcome the chair of the broadcast committee, Cynthia Graubart.
Thank you, Sophia. As Patty mentioned, Sophia was our 2022 Broadcast Media Award winner in this next category I'm about to present, the Emerging Voice Award. So nice to have you back. Well, hello to everyone here in Chicago and everywhere else for the celebration of this year's Media Awards. It has been my particular pleasure as broadcast chair this year to put surf the web on my list of things to do. I'm actually serious, and of course not the whole web, but the whole food web. New voices are everywhere, and they don't always fit neatly into a category. The committee agreed we needed to widen the aperture. We made it our task to seek out new or lesser-known talent, and I can tell you it's been a fascinating journey. I want to say thank you to all the folks who are moving and shaking up the broadcast medium in every way. Even in a medium that one-ups itself constantly, there is no joy quite like uncovering a voice with an important message. And that description fits our next awardee perfectly. The winner of this year's Broadcast Media Awards for Emerging Voice is... Oh, Patty, you're right. This is way too fun. Abina Anem Suma, host of The Future of Food Is You. Aired on...
It's a good thing I came prepared. So, The Future of Food Is You is diverse, ambitious, and just getting started. It's truly been an immense joy to share the stories of people who are working to make this industry better in such creative ways, and it's also an honor to be recognized for this work. James Beard Foundation, and to the Broadcast Media Committee, thank you so much for selecting me for this award. It's a true honor and the nod that I needed to keep moving in this food world and be a part of its hopeful future. I would not be on this stage tonight with my people, who I know are definitely watching. To my parents, Henry and Rosamond, who always encourage me to ask the right questions. My brothers, Rock and Kwame, who keep me very humble. Carrie Diamond, who took me on a life-changing ice cream date to make this happen. The entire team at the Cherry Bomb Podcast Network, and to our amazing guests. I can't wait to keep rooting for you as you blossom in this wonderful world of food. My dear friends who are my ride or dies, my amazing partner Andres, and of course to the listeners and fans who continue to support my work. Thank you so much for believing in me. And especially to that little girl who spent hours binging Barefoot Contessa and reading the New York Times restaurant section, thank you for getting me here. We did it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. And congratulations again to our amazing winner. I love your podcast. In a minute, I'm going to bring up another friend to read the first batch of tonight's Journalism Awards. You guys know all about this guy already. Former Eat columnist for the New York Times Magazine, editor-in-chief at Clarkson Potter, wrote for Gourmet Bon Appetit, Food and Wine, did a serious stint on Top Chef Masters, and now he's host of The Splendid Table, which I'm such a fan of. He's a multiple James Beard Award winner, including 2 just last year, and he's an amazing cook. So everyone, I give you the wonderful Francis Lam.
Gracias, Pati. Let's do this together.
Of course.
Want to do it together?
Yeah.
All right, you go first.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I just pawned it off on you. Okay.
I'm used to you doing that. Yeah. But I love doing this with you. I love having conversations with you. I'm going to start with an award that recognizes great reporting about the thing I'm really looking forward to enjoying right after the show with you, which is beverages and amazing drinks. So the nominees for writing about beverage are
Mark Dredge, Good Beer Hunting. Emma Jansen, Eater. B.E. Miggs, Texas Monthly.
Do you want to open it with me? Let's open it together. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
I know you were like really.
This is so much fun. And when you're a nominee, this is like you're dying. You're dying.
Yeah, this is why we shouldn't actually take extra time to open.
Exactly, exactly.
I was watching you before enjoy it, and I was a little bit jealous, but I also want to be like, let's get to it. These people are dying out here.
I know. And the winner is Lost in Translation: How Flavor Wheels and Tasting Tools Can Evolve to Speak with Global Beer Drinkers. Mark Dredge, Good Beer Hunting. What a great name.
Whoa, amazing. Thank you to Michael Kaiser for Good Beer Hunting to create a platform that allows people like me who just really love beer a place to be able to write about it. Thanks to Claire Bullen, the editor. There's no way I would be standing here without the amazing work that you have done. I hope that I can do justice and honor what it means to be a James Beard Award-winning writer, which to me is an enormous honor. Oh, I hope there's some really cold pints behind there because I'm going for a beer. All right, thank you.
Okay, so each of the next nominees show personality and a distinctive point of view in thought-provoking pieces on food and drink-related topics. And they don't just do it once, they have to do it over and over and over and over. This is like the Katie Ledecky Award. The nominees for columns and newsletters are
Kathy Irway, Taste. Jose R. Relat, Texas Monthly. Hannah Raskin, The Food Section.
So having sat there before, I tried to open the envelope before this is over. Before I say this, all nominees are winners. Just hold your head up high. But the person who's actually taking the medal tonight is Jose Rolat.
I'm like, wait, you're not Jose.
Yes. Thank you. As you may have noticed, I am not Jose, but I'll introduce myself. My name is Kimya Kavakar. I'm the senior editor of Food and Drink at Texas Monthly. And I edit this column, and I edit Jose, and I edit Daniel Vaughn, two amazing voices in food, and I'm really, really proud. So on behalf of Texas Monthly, thank you to the James Beard Foundation. And Jose is working. He's in Oaxaca right now, so I'm here to represent him. And he asked me to read a little bit something, so I hope you'll allow that. Jose says, "This is for the taqueros and the cocineras who have toiled in obscurity and faced adversity few of us could comprehend. Thank you for allowing me to tell your stories and the stories of your food. Thank you to the James Beard Foundation, the judges, my peers, and my editors for supporting this work. Finally, please remember to embrace each other as the tortilla embraces its filling. In doing so, we are fulfilled." Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. You wanna take him the envelope too? Frame it for him. You're his editor.
Editor, doing the Lord's work.
Exactly. You editor. Francis Lam is also an editor. For dining and travel, my personal favorite, of course. Here are the nominees.
Brett Martin, Garden and Gun. Hannah Raskin, The Food Section. Elazar Sontag, Bon Appetit.
And the winner is...
Hannah, come over here.
Oh my gosh, Hannah! Where's Hannah? Where's
God, thank you. I mostly wanted to win this hot daddy. I haven't seen her since the pandemic. Okay, wow. So I know nothing about running a business, which is what having a newsletter is, but I think it's a really, so it's been tough getting this thing going, and I am so thankful to Garden and Gun for the freelance work that's helped me, and so I think beating out Garden and Gun was an awful idea, so that was not a good thing. Thank you to all. I love you, Brett. I love you, Mez. Thank you to all of you who have supported what I've done with the food section. I am trying so hard. As I said, I don't know how to run a business, but I am trying so hard to go to the small towns where national media does not. I'm trying so hard to move over and make space for voices that have been quieted by, kept back by white supremacy. I'm trying to do all the right things, and you have made that possible. Also, I should say, making it possible are my parents who are here, Jerry and Emily. Thank you so much. My husband, Kenny. And the last thing to say on the business front is please subscribe the food section at Substack.com. Thank you.
Getting stuck on traffic on I-95 is the bane of my existence, so congratulations for turning the worst stretch of road in America into a truly heroic story.
And talk about taking risks.
Yeah.
Hannah, talk about taking risks.
Right on. Okay, the next category recognizes exceptional, engaging, and in-depth reporting in food and or drink features. For feature reporting, here are the nominees.
Charles Buffet, The New Yorker. David Hansen, The Bitter Southerner. Shane Mitchell, The Bitter Southerner.
And the winner is Shane Mitchell.
Okay, this is number 4. And I promised myself, if I ever got number 4, all respect to everybody else, but if I got number 4, it would make one of the culinary world's most exclusive set of cocktail coasters. Can't you just see it? But seriously, this story was 9 months of my life, but many years of other people's work. It involves a narrative that is centered on what I call the complicity of silence. It's so easy to go along to get along. And there's many people I need to thank. I need to thank Jan Winburn of The Bitter Southerner, my editor, Rachel Priest of The Bitter Southerner, my other editor. I need to thank the Southern Poverty Law Center and the United Farm Workers. But the man that I really need to thank, I cannot name because it would put him in harm's way. He is someone who has called out injustices around crops, farm labor that is abused, threatened, violated. All because he is someone who picks our blueberries, who picks our watermelon, who picks our onions. And when I sat down with him, I asked him, why? Why are you doing this? This is a man who has not been home since pandemic started. He has not seen his wife. He has not held his youngest child in his arms. He could not hold his mother's hand as she was dying. He missed his daughter's quinceañera. He missed his oldest son's graduation. And I asked him why. Why didn't you just go along to get along? Sorry. He spoke up. He stood out from the crowd. What he said to me was very basic. He said, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, to stand up and speak out. So to him, I say, thank you. Thank you, Bitter Southerner. I love y'all. Thank you, James Beard Foundation. But most importantly, and I only speak telenovela Spanish, but gracias para los campesinos con huevos.
This category highlights the ways our history and culture express themselves through our food. And the nominees for Foodways are
Jennifer Ferguson, Eater, Caroline Hatchett, The Bitter Southerner, Jamal Lemon, Good Beer Hunting.
And the winner is Come Hell or High Water, Oysters Brewing, and How they Come Jazz and Piñas, Food and Tea, Level Rising Charleston. Jamal Lemon.
I'm gonna go ahead and pre-apologize to y'all right now. I am dancing all night long. Yeah, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, man, so this is a little new to me, but first I'd like to thank my warden of matrimony, my wife, Nikki, our son, Joseph Satchel, who's probably peeing all over his grandparents' floor right now. My brother, Mike Stein, that helped me with the research on this project from Lost Loggers. Thank you to Benny Starr from the U.S. Water Alliance, Cyrus Buffum from Seaborn Oyster Company in Charleston, South Carolina, the Friends of Gadsden Creek, Claire Bullen, the greatest editor on the planet, Michael Kaiser from Good Beer Hunting. Brother, thank you for the platform. Shout out to my brother, KJ Kearney. He and I were nominated last year, and we didn't come home with the hardware. So he's a huge inspiration to a lot of the creative things that I do. All of my mothers, all of my fathers, Waffle House, Charleston. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not going to take up too much more of y'all's time because I want to go downstairs and eat too, amen? Thank y'all, man. I appreciate it.
And finally, an award named for a journalist who absolutely changed restaurant writing in our country. Jonathan Gold used his incredible gift for describing a meal to make readers really care about the people who made that meal. That was his way of turning his massive city of Los Angeles into a human-sized community. And these writers carry on that work. For the Jonathan Gold Local Voice Award, the nominees are
Kathy Chaplin, Eater. Brooke Jackson Glidden, Eater. Mike Jordan, Atlanta Magazine, The Wall Street Journal.
And the winner is Brooke Jackson Glidden.
I share my category with two incredibly talented reporters who I am just incredibly inspired by. I share this with them. I want to thank the foundation, of course. My mother started collecting copies of Bon Appetit 10 years before I was born. I started reading it when I was 6. I wouldn't be here without my mother, my father, who taught me the value of strong ethics and hard work and passion. I want to thank my first mentor and editor, Cheryl Julian at the Boston Globe, who taught me both how to edit a piece and also how to behave at a dinner party. I want to thank my Eater family. I am blown away every day that I get to work alongside the people I get to work alongside. And they inspire me every day. And finally, I want to thank the people of Portland. They're all here,
I'm just like blown away that it's our night, guys. We've had really challenging conversations, and I still think that this community is founded on both a genuine goofiness and passion and spirit of collaboration and a belief that we can make a better food system and community. I am so proud to be able to cover the Portland food scene every day. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Francis. And everyone, please welcome our next guest, the President and CEO of the Illinois Restaurant Association, a proud host of this event, Sam Toya. Yay! Hello.
Gracias, Patty. Let's hear it for Patty, right? Is she doing a good job or what? Anyway, thank you for all being here in Chicago. We brought the weather for you guys, so I hope you're enjoying yourself. The Illinois Restaurant Association is indeed most proud to partner with the James Beard Awards again for this weekend-long celebration of the greatest in American cuisine and the culinary community as a whole, including, of course, the media professionals who keep our conversations about what we eat as rich and varied as the food itself. As an organization that exists to promote and raise awareness for our state's restaurants and chefs, we believe in, giving credit where it's due. So now let's take a moment to honor a James Beard Awards tradition and bring the chefs who together with their teams, remember it's all about teams, have created the delectable fare we are going to enjoy after the show. Please join me in welcoming the chefs. Tai Dang of Hai Su, Dana Davila of Mitopia, Joe Flam of Rosemary, Carlos Gaitan of Zuko, Jeannie Juan and Tim Flores of Casama, Dominic Leach of Lexington Betty Smokehouse, Carrie Nyabedian of Brandy, Danielle Reed of Luella's. Chefs, please take a bow, but let's hear it for the team because it's all about teamwork, and thank you all for being here in Chicago. All right, back to Patty.
I am always so hungry when I'm here in Chicago. But we've got one more really exciting and important set of awards to announce. So to read the first nominees for journalism, please welcome Chicago's very own chef, food equity advocate, educator, and founder of Justice of the Pies, Maya Camille Broussard.
Sounds so good. Thank you for the
Mexican accent.
Thank you, Patty. It's so great to be here with you today. I founded Justice of the Pies to commemorate my father. He did love pie of all kinds. Though as a criminal defense attorney, he loved justice more. I personally like pies because they are deceptively simple. They are an offering of love, care, and comfort, and within each one, there's room for surprises and hidden depth. The nominees for the next batch of awards tell the big story behind food, from home cooking methods to environmental reporting, policy issues, and the discourse on cuisines or restaurants. Let's begin with health and wellness. Here are the nominees.
Betsy Andrews, 750 Daily. Anahad O'Connor, The Washington Post. Lax Will, The New York Times.
And the winner is Whenever I give my mom Christmas gifts, she always takes her time unwrapping the paper like she's going to save it and reuse it. So I'm going to take my time because I want to keep the sticker intact in case they need to reuse it. The winner is How the Supreme Court Decision Exacerbated the Dire State of the Bar Industry, Betsy Andrews. Congratulations. Thank you. Here's your state of the
Hi. Well, it's great to be in the state of Illinois where abortion is legal. But we're from all over the country here, and we know that in the wake of the Dobbs decision that ended Roe v. Wade, that over half the states in the United States, the state governments there have restricted, banned, or are attempting to ban abortion. We also know that in the industry that we report on and the industry we are a part of, where there's very little job security and benefits are almost unheard of, an unwanted pregnancy can be a life-altering crisis. So I want to thank the Beard Committee for recognizing the importance of this issue. I want to thank my editor at 750 Daily, Courtney Scheisel, and her whole team there. It's Schissel, actually. I never know how to pronounce your name, Courtney, but I love you. And also, I really mostly want to thank the incredible activists in the industry that I interviewed for this story who know that we can do better and who are working on this issue. Thanks a lot.
Restaurants may be back, but there still has never been a time when information about cooking at home was more avidly consumed by so many readers. For home cooking, the nominees are
Jenny Dorsey, Serious Eats. Elise Inamine, Bon Appetit. Laura Lee, Food and Wine.
Laura Lee, Food and Wine.
Thank you for saving the sticker. Yeah. Hi, I'm not Laura. I'm Chandra Ram with Food and Wine, and well, thank you. Laura sent me a note, an acceptance speech. She said, "Thank you so much. I'm live streaming these awards tonight from Sydney, Australia. So hello from the other side of the world. This is the moment every food writer dreams of in their career, and I'm deeply honored. Thank you to the incredible team at Food and Wine for commissioning me for this beautiful story about tamarind, an ingredient I've clearly fallen in love with. Thank you to Karen Shimizu, Mary Frances Heck, Melanie Hanchi, and Khushbu Shah for your brilliance and for believing in me to do this feature justice. Thank you to my agent, Nicola Chang, and David Evans at David Hingham Associates. To my parents for helping me with the dishes and ingredient shopping while we stayed with you for a short while. My son, Jonah, for filling my heart with joy. And to my wonderful husband, Nick, and my best friend, my rock, my everything. Your support keeps me going. This award is for you. On behalf of everyone at Food and Wine, I just want to say what an incredible honor it is for us every single day to be able to work with writers like Laura, with cooks, with artists and illustrators, and I'm thrilled to accept this award on her behalf. I am just going to take a quick video of you all, if you don't mind joining me in congratulating Laura on her award. Thank you.
Wait, hold on. You didn't get me in that shot. I want to. Okay. The next category celebrates adventurous reporters who follow stories where they lead and whether working in print, video, photography, podcasts, radio, diaries, virtual reality, or a combination, contribute something unique to food journalism. For innovative storytelling, the nominees are
Krista Chapman, Gray Beltran, and Gary Heath, The New York Times. The Tennessean Staff, The Tennessean. Thrillist Staff, Thrillist.
And the winner is Thrillist Staff.
Hi. Oh my gosh. We're shocked. We're very shocked.
You got this. It's such an honor to be here, and we're so grateful to the James Beard Foundation for this amazing recognition. Congrats to our fellow nominees. Your meaningful work continues to inspire us. Jess, I want to thank you so much for spearheading this amazing night market project. Your amazing, incredible editorial vision and I also want to thank the incredibly talented Thrillist creative team that made this possible and really brought this project to life, especially Matani, Audra, Jolene, Morgan, and Drew. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything.
Like Manali said, the night market package was a true joy to work on, especially to highlight the tremendous talent and ambition of the AAPI food community. This was the truest definition of collaboration, and everyone from editorial, art, audience, and production played a part in seeing it go live. We all know that the journalism industry is nothing short of volatile, and everyone who worked on this package has endured a tremendous amount of change since its publication. This is for Kat, Jessica, Rosen, and Kelsey, my fire sign food team, and the entire Thrillist team, past and present. This couldn't have been accomplished without our gifted freelance writers and photographers and all the chefs and street vendors who graciously shared their stories. Thank you to the very talented art director, I said to my right, but to my left, Manali Doshi, for always supporting me personally and professionally. It means the world. Too often in this business, we are told to pivot, to adapt, to be nimble, to be scrappy. But tonight, I think it feels good for all of us to just exhale and feel proud. Thank you.
She liked my dress. She gets an extra hug. For distinctive food coverage in a general interest publication, we have
The Bitter Southerner, Oxford American, San Francisco Chronicle.
Oh, wait, I didn't have enough time to carefully pull off the sticker. 1 second, and the winner is The Bitter Southerner. Yeah.
Wow. Damn. This is good. Again, I mean, to stand on this stage is just, it's the biggest honor. I think all of you sitting out there understand what this means. I think to stand here with this team, the work that we do is just, it's mind-blowing. So I won't be near as eloquent as our amazing contributor Shane Mitchell as she was up here accepting this award, but I'll stumble through this real quick. Again, we're just so grateful to be a part of this group, this community, the James Beard Foundation. I mean, the work that we do, the work that all of you do is just hugely important. You know, every week after week, we have a small team. We are as independent as journalism gets. We are a tiny team, and every day we dig deep to do the best stories and the best journalism that we can possibly do. But honestly, it's all the contributors. Many of you who I see out there, Mike Jordan, Alice, Charles, Shane, there's so many of you out there that are up for awards that have created stories for us. And honestly, we are grateful. You are the ones that this award is here for. You're the ones that make us look good, that make us shine. We're just smart enough to answer your emails and listen to you when you reach out with brilliant stories and brilliant ideas. The Bitter Southerner turned 10 this year, so 10 years old. Pretty great. Someone said the other day that in this modern media landscape, turning 10 is practically the equivalent of turning 100. And some days I think we feel all of that. But to be honest, at 10 years old, we're just getting started. I think we are more fired up and more excited to do the type of work that got us on the stage, that lifts us up. But really and truly, I think we're more fired up to get going. But really, we're just excited to be here. And we're more committed than ever to telling the types of stories that really stir the pot out there. We're committed to making a better South and a better world. And just honestly, thank you all. We're honored. We appreciate it.
Okay, one last award for me. A category named for a brilliant critic who brought deep knowledge of history and culture to his writing about food. These are the nominees for the Craig Claiborne Distinguished Restaurant Review Award.
Bill Addison, Los Angeles Times. Karen Brooks, Portland Monthly. Soleil Holmes, San Francisco Chronicle.
The winner is Bill Addison from Los Angeles Times. The winner is not. The winner is not present, so I might have to take this home. I'm kidding. We'll make sure he gets it. Thank you so much. Patty. Hey, Patty. Oh.
Hello. I want to go eat your pies.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You guys were all going to go eat her pies, right? You all got the invite. This time I get to call on an old friend to help present the next award, Rick Bayless. He's, yay! Yay, yay! What a treat, what a treat, what a treat! As you all know, he's an expert in Mexican cuisine, so a man after my own heart. He has also won seven James Beard Awards, including Humanitarian of the Year, Outstanding Restaurant, Best Podcast, International Cookbook. I mean, this is truly what we call a Renaissance man. And on top of all of that, did you know he's magnificent at yoga? A master. I need classes at that. I need classes at all the places I haven't been in Mexico that you've been to. So, such a treat to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Patty. That was a very generous introduction, but come on, there is so much talent in this room to celebrate, present company included.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. And we're going to start with a category that requires candidates to dig deep and stick around for the next chapter. For investigative reporting, the nominees are
Jacob Bogage, Kimberly Kindy, and Laura Riley. The Washington Post. Christina Cook, Alice Driver, and Gosha Wozniashka. Civil Eats, Megan McCarroll. Peter.
Okay, I'm doing this quickly. I'm not going to do the Maya thing there. And the winner is Christina Cook, Alice Driver, and Gosha Wozniashka for Civil Eats. And are they? Yes, they are.
My goodness. Was not expecting this, but thank you so much. We're accepting this award on behalf of the team at Civil Eats, including Gosha Wozniacka, who was the third reporter nominated for this honor. We'd also like to thank our editor, the editor of the investigations desk, Lee Vandervoo, for her guidance through this whole investigation, which was an 11-month process. We would like to thank the James Beard Foundation and the judges for recognizing the importance of elevating the stories of the workers behind our food. Publications often shy away from reporting on labor issues because they are often uncomfortable and disheartening. And as a result, the stories of the people that keep our food system working, like the largely immigrant workers in animal agriculture, they're wildly underreported. And Civil Eats is a small publication, but we recognize the importance of putting our energy and our resources into stories like these that shed light on the power dynamics in our food system.
Quiero agradecer a los trabajadores porque solo existe este trabajo gracias a su valentía, porque la verdad es que bien saben lo peligroso que es contar la verdad sobre las condiciones de trabajo. Ni puedo decir sus nombres. So all of this work is for the workers. What they have done in sharing their stories is truly brave, and I wish that they could be up here with me.
And one last thank you for recognizing the types of stories in this reporting. When you recognize this type of reporting, you're acknowledging and you're raising up the thousands of people in our country who are toiling away every day producing the food that we eat. So thank you.
For personal essay with recipes, here are the nominees.
Lan Samantha Chang, Food and Wine. Layla Corey Hanold, Food 52. Deep Tran, Food and Wine.
And the winner is Dog Shit Taquan. Deep Tran. And I get to say the F, and I get to say the S.
Thank you. I love that. I get to make Patty say dog shit de clause. Thank you. I want to thank Charlotte Druckman, who asked me to write the story and was a wonderful editor. I also would like to thank Karen Shimizu, who's the executive editor of Food and Wine, for agreeing to the title Dog Shit de Clause. And I want to thank dear old Granny, who kept it 100, never told you were good enough. And just, she might have practiced, or she might have preached patriarchy, but in her life, she defied every single patriarchal idea of the role of the woman in the house, in business. And yeah, she was like She was a difficult woman, but she was, yeah, she gave me a lot of blessings and maybe some curses. So thank you. Thanks for thank you to the foundation for even accepting a nomination for something that had dog shit in it. So thank you.
And for personal essay without recipes, we have the following nominees.
Dr. Cynthia R. Greenlee, Oxford American. Kyla Rosanna Tompkins, The Larb Quarterly of the Los Angeles Review of Books. Jean Trin, Los Angeles Times.
And the winner is On Boba, Kyla Rosanna Tompkins. I believe Kyla's not here.
Kyla's not here. The nominees for the award for profile are
Monica Ung, Chicago. Carolyn Corman, The New Yorker. Kayla Stewart, Food and Wine.
And the winner is Kayla Stewart. The Sweetest Harvest.
Okay. Give me just a second. I had to iPhone my remarks, guys. Thank you so much. It is an honor to be here. I want to first thank the James Beard Foundation for this award. And I'd especially like to thank June and Angie Provost, who despite being faced with injustices that many of us cannot fathom, taught me through this work that Black joy not only prevails, but is a mechanism by which we can fight the unfair systems that African American communities have faced since we first stepped foot on this country's soil. I want to thank my fellow nominees who wrote magnificent, tremendous profiles, as well as the many folks who have supported me in this industry, including professors and colleagues at NYU, editors and colleagues in this industry. I want to thank my sister, Jennifer Stewart, who has gone above and beyond big sister duties by supporting me through my emergence in this industry, calls me on work road trips to make sure I'm not getting too tired when driving across this massive country, and who continuously challenges me to be a better writer and thinker and thus person. I want to thank my family and friends, and I want to thank the Food and Wine team, the entire team, but particularly my editors on this work, Karen Shimizu and Kelsey Youngman, who let me write freely about Black joy in life. I want to especially thank Clay Williams, who upon hearing that I had familiar roots, yes, Clay Williams, upon hearing that I had roots in Louisiana, said, come on down, and helped launch a collaborative work that I'm immensely proud of. And true to his reputation, shot this work with the utmost care and beauty. To be able to win my first James Beard Award exploring Black life and joy in a state so important to my personal heritage is a gift I'll be forever grateful for. And I again thank the foundation for its recognition. I also want to thank a woman who is a true winner and someone who has allowed me to be here on the stage by way of asking me to be part of her life's work, Miss Emily Meggett, who is a true winner and who has changed how we talk about U.S. foodways, and who also called me to encourage me in this industry and has inspired me in this work. It's not lost on me that as I accept this award, politicians and school district leaders in states like Louisiana, Texas, and many others are pushing antiquated, racist, and queer-phobic book bans to prevent folks from learning about the very stories and history that I and so many other Black food writers and food writers of color try to communicate through our work. I accept this award with immense gratitude, but also as a call to action. I hope that stories like these, both in and outside of food media, stories that highlight the duality of our experiences as people of color, from the painful racism that still impacts our daily lives to the joyous ways in which we live our lives to resist this mistreatment, continue to show up in magazines, newspapers, books of poetry, novels, and yes, textbooks. Food is fun, but food is also truth. In accepting this award, I hope that we will continue to acknowledge and uplift work that tells the truth, the whole truth, and that we do everything in our power to ensure that our stories are always, always, always going to reach the public. Thank you so much for this award.
Okay, this is a really special one. Now, I have in my life aspired to express myself through the written word, but there are people who, for reasons unknown to even the smartest AI, alchemize their thoughts, ideas, and feelings into ink on a page in a style that completely resists imitation. The nominees for the 2023 MFK Fisher Distinguished Writing Award are
Maram Hamed, Al Jazeera. Brett Martin, Garden and Gun. Shane Mitchell, The Bitter Southerner.
And the winner is Shane Mitchell for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, The Bitter Southerner.
I didn't plan 2 speeches.
Bravo.
Oh, that's a nice sound. I want to acknowledge that this award is named for a woman. And there are so many women in this business who are either cooks or cleaners or pot washers or journalists or photographers or editors. And we all have to work just a little extra harder to be recognized. And tonight's pretty amazing. But even today, I got a text from the hotel that I was checking into that said, "Dear Mr. Mitchell, welcome to Chicago." And I have to thank my mother, because Southern women always name their oldest daughter after someone in their family. And it just so happened that my mother's maiden name is Shane. So it's caused a lot of confusion in my career. But I want to say that I really appreciate everyone who reads my work, who helps me along the way. Thank you, Bitter Southerner, for amazing opportunities. Here's to Miss Emily Meggett from Edisto Island. I met Miss Emily when I was 22. Her family and my family are both from Edisto. And that can be a wonderful story, and it can also be a difficult story. But she taught me how to make breakfast shrimp when I turned up at her house without anything but an invitation and y'all come. So I want to acknowledge her. Miss Emily, I hope you're doing well up there, wearing one of your great hats. But I also want to thank my baby sister who sent me a message earlier today. And it read, "May the food be with you." From the Route 52 chili dogs to the wet bags of hot boiled peanuts, thank you for sharing all the food we had as children. She said, the New York slices, the fancy schmancy highfalutin chemistry experiments, that's my brother who's a chef, and the naked oysters. Like I said, all the food. I'll leave you tonight with, may the food be with you.
Thank you, Rick. I'm going to go eat those barbacoa tacos tomorrow at La Frontera. And now to present our final award for this year, I have just one more dear friend and colleague to call upon. She's also such a joy to follow on social media. From her post as food editor at the Philadelphia Inquirer, she helped soften the strain of lockdown for many of us during the pandemic, with many offerings for home cooks, while also focusing attention on the most vulnerable people in our food system. As chair of the journalism committee for the James Beard Awards, I can just picture that guy with the red spatula, you guys. For the last 4 years, she has given herself heart and soul to the project of evolving these awards to reflect the true breadth and depth of the American culinary community. Please welcome to the stage the wonderful, fabulous, incredible Jamila Robinson.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Patty, and to all my colleagues and friends, greetings. I could fill a book with my recollections from the past 4 years that have been so impactful. As many of you probably know, I've reached the end of my term as chair, which is a process that we put in place during my tenure to keep the awards vibrant, exciting, and to pass the baton to new leaders. But it's not possible to overstate how meaningful it is for me to stand here and look at the road that has brought us to this moment. Because of our work, each year there is a wider panoply of people nominated for James Beard Awards. And one of my favorite moments is when a journalist came up to me and said, "Oh, the James Beard Awards are not for me." And then enters, probably gets nominated, and maybe they even win. And because of that bigger process, they get to see how their perspective fits into this larger system, and that generates more openness, more beauty, and more change. Thank you. We have been through a transformation, and when I look around this room, we can see the results. And watching the structures that we've put in place take root and flower, it has been, with no exaggeration, truly the joy of my life. So I want to thank all of you for being here with me. I'm immensely proud. It's a little bittersweet. I have been telling myself the last few days, like, don't get up there and cry, but I might. And I'm excited because I think our work is going to bring others quite a bit of joy over the next years. So now, let's throw our attention towards a bright new present. This is the Emerging Voice Award, which, as you have heard from some of the other committee chairs, is an award that we wanted to create to honor people that we wanted to hear more of. So here's the winner of this year's 2023 Emerging Voice Award in Journalism goes to, oh yes, Maya and Patty, this is kind of fun. This is the last time I get to do this. It's a little bittersweet. Oh, how exciting. Oh, this is exciting for me because it's a good night for Detroit. The Emerging Voice Journalism Award goes to Lindsay C. Green, the restaurant and dining critic of the Detroit Free Press.
Gosh, man, this is scary. Thank you so much. So this year I wrote a story. Oh man, this is hard to do this and not be emotional. I wrote a story about not feeling seen, not just in the food scene in Detroit, but just in general, throughout my entire career. And so it just is really great to feel seen. So thank you to the James Beard Foundation for seeing me. Thank you to my husband, who I think saw me for who I am from the first time he actually saw me. Thank you to my family that sees me for who I am, my mom, my dad, my friends, everyone who's watching. And I have to just say the biggest thanks is just to God. You know, I started my career as a beauty editor and never really felt like I was in the right place. And so I've done a lot of praying over the past 3 years. And I just feel so special. I feel so seen by the most important being in my life. So thank you for making me feel special enough that you heard my prayers, that you heard what I wanted and what I needed to feel like I'm doing the right thing and I'm in the right place. And just thinking about food sovereignty, and just being so happy to be in the city of Detroit. And thank you to the foundation as well. This win isn't just exciting for me, it really just shows your support of local journalism. And that's so important. Thank you to the Free Press for also seeing me and allowing me to report on the dining scene so honestly and sharing my perspective, particularly as a Black woman. It means a lot. So thank you so much to everyone. I really appreciate it.
You guys, who's hungry? We have come to the end. It's been an amazing evening of equal parts love, fun, joy, and at the same time profound and engaging. Like all of the content we celebrated today, it's been a reflection of the world we are living in now and the one we are building for our children in the future. I want to take a big moment to congratulate all of our nominees and winners one more time. I hope you have all enjoyed yourself. I can't wait to catch up with you at the party afterwards. You'll have to come to me because I'm trying to run with this food. I'm sure many of you will be attending the Leadership Awards, which take place tomorrow, and then I look forward to seeing you at the Restaurant and Chef Awards coming up Monday night at the beautiful Lyric Opera House. I do have to say a big thank you to my 3 boys who are here. Alan, Sammy, Juju, thank you for being with your mama. Thank you so much to the James Beard Foundation for the huge honor of hosting tonight, and mostly for letting me open these envelopes. It's addicting. It's so much fun. And here's to another year. I look forward to saying goodbye, or hello, to all of you out there. Good night.